Hey, good afternoon, my YouTube family. I know it's been a while, and there's, there's nothing I can say, right? I can just say it's been a while, and I'm glad to be here talking to you guys. And I hope that all of you guys are doing well by God's grace, and that from the last time we spoke to now, you have been increased, you've been improved, you've become closer to God, you serve Him more strongly and more disciplined, and that I pray that His graces and mercies are still upon you and your family, hoping that all is well with all that belongs to you, respectively to your life. Okay, you know me. Before I get into what I'm about to talk about, which the title would tell you, I got to give praise and thanks to God for all that He does in the known and the unknown, the visible and the invisible. I wanted to say, pertaining to something that, I don't pay much mind to people's negative comments because I don't do this for the world. I don't do it for myself, I do it for the world. So let me say it like that. It's just me sharing an opportunity with the world that they can possibly benefit from, whether it's spiritual or technical, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever you get from it, you get from it. But what I give is righteous in nature, not unrighteous. And that's why I give what I give, because I think it's beneficial. I think your ability to serve God in any way and always possible is relevant. I think your ability to be off grid and to have the ability to sustain you and your family outside of the norm, all right, the infrastructure, I think is fantastic. And it makes me happy to know that we have those abilities to stand independent of the how would you say, the norm expectations. So, with that said, I know there's some noise going on around me. I hope that you can still hear me, and the fan just kicked on for one of the devices that I'm going to talk about. But I wanted to talk about what this individual said, and God has nothing to do with technology. And I did respond via the message, but YouTube messaging, but I wanted to speak on that a little bit. God is technology. God is everything known and unknown. There's nothing before and there won't be anything after Him. He is the reason why we are here and everything before us are here. Scientists will tell you about the billions of year old galaxies and what spatial anomalies, right? What in whatever format they come in, how old our galaxy is, and all this good stuff that they talk about. Well, that's God, right? So, from the beginning, He was the first, and He will be the last. There's none before, and there will be none after. So, Alpha and Omega. You guys know this reality, and if you don't, this is truth. And if you can explain to me why we are here, can't tell me an amoeba. Because if you tell me amoeba, then you have to tell me why all the diversity and species of plants and everything is here as well, which don't follow the same path as humans. So, yeah, we can talk about that all day long. There's no conclusion to it because every side have its perspective, its beliefs. But I believe in God, and that's my long and short. It doesn't go no farther than that. I stop at God. I can't go beyond Him because He is the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Period. I'm done there. So, to those individuals who say the things they say, God created man, and through the infinite wisdom He put in man, not infinite, but the wisdom that He put in man, man created technology, right? So it all came from God, relatively speaking, right? It's the same as you take credit for your child's success because you gave him or her an environment in which to grow and to become what they became in life. So you're like, for the ones that are prideful and arrogant, they take pride for their child's success. Me, I don't take pride for anything successful in my life, even the things I do myself. I give all the praise and glory to God because God is first and foremost in my life, and everything I do by His grace and only by His grace, because there's none before Him and there will be none after. Okay, so I wanted to say that, and I wanted you guys to understand fully where I stand. it's non-negotiable. I serve one master, and that's the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He was here before, and he will be here after, and I can't reconcile anything. As dumb or smart as I am, I can't reconcile anything other than him. And for those that don't believe that way, I'm sorry to hear it, but this is my truth, and you have an option to move on. But as far as I stand with him now and forever. And I pray that I can be by his side on that glorious day when he come and retrieve his elected. And with that I say praise and thanks to him for all that he's given and all that he's taken, and for all of you. Because listen, I don't count stats, I don't even look at that stuff, but I know you guys are out there, and I know some of you understand and walk the same path I walk, and even a better path than I walk. And I glorify God for you guys. And I pray that the things he do for you and for your families, he do it with the premise that is for your best interest, and that you can grow and become more strengthened and enlightened in his holy divine word to become that servant that you were meant to be. Not for man, but for God. Because we serve God, not man, right? But we are in servitude to man because we're here for each other, and we walk with each other, and we praise. I mean, we don't praise, but we lift up one another in our times of trials and tribulation to help each other get through the hard times in life. So with that said, I have said my piece, and I have glorified my God, who I love and I cherish daily, none before. I can't put a person in this world, mother, father, brother, sister, wife, child, otherwise, before him. He's first and foremost, and then everything after. So now that I've done that and I've glorified my God, I will now talk to you about what this title is about. So I know it's been a while, and I've been doing things in the background, but also I've been just living life and getting things done in life. And there's a lot to be done, especially in these times, which I believe is the end times. But and some of the things I did is just experimenting with different technology. As you guys already know, and you can see behind me, and if you know my story, you know wherever I go, whatever house I buy, I always install Tesla systems because I'm a Tesla guy, right? As you can see, as I've shown you in many videos before, you know I'm a Tesla guy, and I just love electricity. It's part of what I do. It's part of my skill set. It's part of my interests, part of my hobbies. All these things I do because I love electricity, I think, and it naturally occurs in our bodies. So figure that, right? You know, these impulses and stuff are all electrical in nature, man. It's funny to put that into perspective, but here we are channeling that power to serve us in ways that some of us can't even fathom, right? So with that said, I decided when I was looking at the energy consumption of the house, I noticed that, man, I'm putting a lot of power to the grid, and they don't pay me one for one. And I'm like, why am I wasting power on the grid? It's bad enough I'm not really paying a bill. So why am I wasting power? I should capture that power so I can use at home more effectively, you know, so increasing my storage, my capacity. And that's what I thought about. And I thought about some of this stuff, some of the other things I showed you guys with the Ecoflow and all that good stuff. And I was like, and that was more of a mobile solution. And then I got to say, this thing sits here, and I had an application in the U.S. Virgin Islands that I was going to put it to, but you know, I'm still working that angle. But there's a lot of regulations and permitting and stuff that have to be done for the structure before I even get to the power source of said structure, right? So I thought to myself, just do something here until you're ready to use it. Then you can dismantle it, ship it, do what you want to do with it. Pass it off, give it away, whatever the requirement is at the time, then you can do those things. So I did something, and I'm gonna just flip you guys around, and then we'll talk about it. That way you can see what I did. All right, so here we go. This is what I did. Boom. So an Ecoflow Powerwall. So I maxed out a smart panel by Ecoflow, which, you know, there's a lot of these on the market, much more comprehensive than Ecoflow, but this allows you to be intermediate between your house and your home breaker panel. And it allows you to have statistics, control over certain circuits. This can do up to 10 circuits, and it can actually do split phase or single phase. And you can also do a hybrid of split and single. Right now, this is 100% single phase. I was thinking in the future, if this worked out well, I might just go ahead and take on some of the 240. But as you can see, I don't know that I can get any more Ecoflows on the walls, with everything I got going on in this garage. So it may be a project for another future home that has way more garage space. And the next home from this home is going to be a home that doesn't have a homeowner association, 1. And 2, it will be 100% off grid. I know I have to have a grid tie. I have to have a grid connection per the law, but it will be 100% off grid. And I'm going to build it complete for that purpose too as well. But as it stands right now, and yep, I know some of you are looking, yes, this is my alternative to a pipe connection, because I'm right now I'm still in the deciding phases whether I want to leave it permanently here or remove it. I'm going to leave it as it is, as it stands for now, until I decide that this is something I'm going to leave attached to the house. Because if I don't leave it attached to the house and I move it to the next home, by God's grace, what's going to happen is I'm going to build I do RCs, as you can see, right? And I'm going to build a hangar, so to speak, slash hobby rooms, and I want to put in a runway for my RC, so I don't have to leave the confines or the comfort of home to exercise my my hobbies. You know what I mean? So with that said, this may be, I might take this system here with me to the new property to facilitate that truth. So I'm still deciding. But if I decide to leave it, yes, I will install some direct conduits straight through into this panel that makes it more secure. And right now it is. And that's why I put the faceplate back on to protect it. And as you can see, it's not pinching it. It's just barely touching it. I screwed these in as far as I need to just to close the gap. But not, this side is tight, as you can see, flush mount, for those that are worried, right? And it's all a Wago setup, Wago terminal blocks, the whole 9 yards, so it's secure on the inside. So you don't have to worry, but you know me, I don't do anything that will be directly dangerous other than the suicide cable I made just to do a house test, but that was under only my purview and my control. So as I was saying, this is the Ecoflow Smart panel. They have now, since this video, they have a upgrade to the Ecoflow Delta Pros, which is the Ecoflow Delta Pro Ultra, which is coming out, and it has an even more comprehensive panel, which we don't have much information on yet. And the battery is a stackable battery solution, and but this is mobile, so I can bug out with this if we need to in a heartbeat. If I need to go somewhere, I can pull some of these off and run. The stackable stuff, you're not doing that with. So the stackable solution, I'm thinking I'll use that for the final home, and that's going to be the source. I may not do Tesla, and then I'll show you to what point, because I'm going to do a solar tracker solution, and I want to put that up myself. So as I said, smart panel. Each panel is, the panel can take in 2 deltas. That's what facilitates the split phase if you choose to do it. And even as a single phase, it does a round robin between the 2 deltas, and then the 2 deltas are maxed out with 2 smart batteries. All right, so I have a combine of 21.6 kilowatts on this wall, whereas the Tesla's is 27 kilowatts, 26 usable. So I got power galore at home, and it's a fantastic scenario. I still have to charge electric cars, which is a challenge by itself, because you're talking about 85 kilowatt batteries. So I'm nowhere there, right? But for home utilization, it's perfect. And I was good with just the Teslas, but now what happens is what this allows for is the Teslas. If I plug that Tesla in, it will drain the power walls. And then once the power walls are drained, it goes to the grid, right? However, these aren't on a 240 solution, so these continue to run in the house. Everything that's not 240 is being ran at home. So I still don't go back to the grid, even after the Powerwalls are dead, because these guys are actually the ones that are running the house. The Powerwall are usually, the Powerwall right now just sustain all the 240 requirements. So we're talking about water heater, AC, Tesla charger, and a dryer, that kind of stuff. But all the 110 circuits are on the, for the most part, are on the smart panel. So as you can see, comes out, it feeds, each scenario feeds a delta, each AC1 port that comes in feeds a delta, and then the deltas are split between the smart batteries for a combined power wall of 21.6 kilowatts. And that's it. And it works really well. I might go ahead, I mean, there's some YouTube you guys can look, you see some people already went through the application for this, and it's very comprehensive, so I don't know that I need to, but let me know if you want me to do it, and I'll do it just for the sake of doing it. But there's stuff on YouTube already. But what I haven't seen is this. I have not seen a structured Powerwall on YouTube. So that's why I even did this video, just to show you guys that you can take this stuff and make it look neat, and make it work for application that now I still have a usable space for a second car. And it doesn't have no impact to the garage and the spacing within the garage. And right now I consider this garage a little cluttered, and I have to find another place for my ladder, and I got my toolkit over there that I travel with. So, but still decent. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I also add a combiner box. And what that does, it allows me to do two things. It protects my system here from any kind of electrical strike, lightning, of course, from outside, and I'll show you why. Because this system is independent of the Tesla panels. Now I'm gonna show you how I can tie it together, but right now it's independent. And so all the power comes from some subsequent panels that I put in the backyard on a fixed ground mount. I want a solar tracker, but right now I'm struggling with this homeowner association to see logic. The good thing with Florida is Florida doesn't restrict you from energy conservation methods. So I can actually fight this and win. But they're not telling me I can't do it, they're just telling me I can't install it where I want to install it. So that's their only fight, is that they can limit you where you install it. So I'm working on it. But I want to put a solar tracker to maximize my production all day long, as much as I possibly can. And right now, so what I have currently is one string of panels, 3 panels total. They're 425 watt panel, and guess what? They're Tesla panel, industrial size panels, and they're feeding this Powerwall. And so I have a combiner box that allow me to switch off from one delta, because the deltas have to be charged respectively. And since I only have one string, what I do is I went ahead and I parallel the one input string to both outputs. And so now what I do is just breaker off, breaker on, depending on which delta I want to receive solar at the time. You can't split it because it won't be balanced, and it shifts between the two deltas, and then the output isn't high enough. It just cycles, flip-flops all day long, and it's a pain. So until I get another string, I have to run it this way. But what this does, it protects the deltas from any surge that may come externally. So that's what that is. Now what I'm gonna do is go show you the string in the backyard so you can see what these solar, these Tesla solar panels look like. But this is it, guys. And I just wanted to show you guys what I've done, and to show you that you can get creative with options if the alternatives are not within your reach or your desires. You want to do something like this, which is mobile. I can just grab a single delta if I'm going to the RC field, or I'm just going to the beach and I want a cooler. Oh, talking about a cooler, this company even made a refrigerator, which is freezer. It can be fully freezer, it can be fridge and freezer. It's called a glacier, right? It can be fridge and freezer, or fridge. And you can split it down the middle and make it both. And that's a divider board right there. You put it in there. Right now, as you can see, it's just a water cooler because I don't have a lot of excess needs. So it keeps waters in the garage. So when I'm doing things and I'm hot or want some water, I can do that. But what's unique about this bad boy, it can make ice too. On those super cool days you want some ice, you can make some ice. And it's that simple. It's pretty cool stuff. So all this is ran off of the solar. I ran power back. That's what that one black cable comes up and it runs off of the DC output for one of the deltas. So everything is off grid in here, guys. And it gives you the option to do a lot of cool things. And if I'm going to the beach or I'm going somewhere that's going to require a function that I need to bring drinks and keep them cold, I can take that, and that has its own battery. So that can be independent. There's a built-in battery or removable battery for this unit. And I can run, the way I run it, probably about 4 hours. And so rather than having a cooler, you have to go buy ice. Nah, you just keep this. You can keep it at sub-zero temperatures. And if you elect, you can make ice, right? So that can, and I could just grab a Delta and I can head out the door and I have power all day and probably better part of the next day. So anyway, before it gets too dark, I'm gonna take you guys out to see this panel out back. I'm gonna pause you so I can just transition. So next time you hear my voice, we will be in the backyard. And here we are. So these are the 425 watt Tesla solar panels. As you can see, these are the industrial size ones because it's way bigger than the ones on the wall. I mean, sorry, on the roof. So, and this thing works amazing, especially in low light condition. And we're talking about it. They're rated for 425, but they produce way more than that. I have seen these 3 panels produce upward of 1400 watts, and they're wired in series, as you know, because the Delta can handle up to 150 input voltage, right? And these are Ecoflow ground mounts, angle mounts, so I can change the angle for the season as needed. But that's why I want to just get away from this fixed scenario and go to a solar tracker. But we'll see. All right, guys, I'm gonna jump back into the garage. I'll close out this video and then we'll go from there. Okay, we're back. So short and sweet. Well, actually it's 22 minutes. I don't know if it's all that short, but let me know what you guys want to know. I do my best to answer you, as you know. And if you can, just keep it positive, right? I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm just here to share information, both spiritually and technically. And if you got a question, ask a question, but keep your negative comments to yourself, or take it to a combative channel that's into arguing and fighting and all that baloney, because that's not my speed. I'm here to be peaceful and graceful like my God, and to serve mankind in the way I can that best suits him and you. So with that said, I am going to switch back, whether it's like or disliked, and just to say, look, I love you guys very much. Much like God loves me, right? And I want you to know that you're in my heart. And I pray that all that is required for your lives are being addressed. And if I can help in any way, ask. That's all you can do, right? You ask me, and I'll do whatever I can to try to help you or any of my brothers and sisters in this world, because this is what we're supposed to do. So on that note, I love you. God bless and keep each one of you. In his holy name I pray. And until the next video, be righteous and be safe.